Mark Adebayo, The Independent.
Woo! Congrats on the new gig.
Thank you.
What do you got for me?
Do you have any response to the comments made earlier today by your former assistant coach, Nathan Shelley?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. I mean, he came and got us, didn't he? No doubt about that. Hey, but that's Nate the Great for you. You know, he's the same way on the pitch. You know, he'll find the tiniest little weakness in a team and just want to attack that. Yeah. I mean, he's a junkyard dog, man. And smart. They're real lucky to have him over there at West Ham. I wish him the best of luck. I guess I'm a little surprised that's all he could come up with, especially against me. You know, not one joke about me being a dumb American. Come on, man. Sitting there. I mean, I'm so dumb. Y'all supposed to say, how dumb are you? Gary?
Why?
Well, I mean, it's just classic joke structure. Give it a shot. I mean, I'm so dumb. Lloyd?
How dumb are you?
Okay. Well, I'm so dumb that the first time I heard y'all talking about Yorkshire pudding, I thought it was a fancy word y'all had for dog poop. Yeah. I mean, I'm so dumb.
How dumb are you?
Yeah, all right, well, you know. Well, whenever I text someone over here about money, I still spell pounds LBS. Yeah. Look, man, I'm not a great coach. Probably ain't. You know, I've been doing this sport now for 3 years, and I still get a chuckle every time someone talks about a handball violation. And not one crack about my appearance? About this mustache? I look like Ned Flanders is doing cosplay as Ned Flanders. I mean, when I talk, it sounds like Dr. Phil hasn't gone through puberty yet. Yeah. I'm more corny than Kevin Costner's outfield. Ooh, I lost you on that one. Yeah.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah. Field of Dreams? No? I guess y'all don't really like baseball here, so why would you like movies about it? Well, hey, how about this one? Regarding my panic attacks, I've had more psychotic episodes than Twin Peaks. I mean, I'm so crazy.
How crazy are you?
There we go.
Welcome to another episode of the Revisited Podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm Poopy. I'm Kristin.
It's just Pooper.
This is our Revisited podcast of Ted Lasso. This week we are revisiting Ted Lasso Season 3, Episode 1, Smells Like Mean Spirit.
We're already off the rails.
It's fine. Poopy.
Look, if you've been listening to us this long, you know this happens.
Yep. Dave told me, he goes, I don't really mind the fact that you go off the rails because I like both of you a lot. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah. But I'm not sure everybody else thinks that. I'm like, oh, well, that's fine. We've been doing this for like 4 years now, so.
It's
established.
I'll put it to you this way. It's established already at this point. and our listenership doesn't go down, so that's a good thing. The numbers don't go down, which is good.
Good.
So we're not losing people on our tangents. But like I said, like you said, it's established at this point.
Yeah.
I want to say before we start, we mentioned last week the future of like where we're going to go, like what the next show is. And The Good Place seems to be a pretty popular choice.
I'm into it.
A lot of people are kind of like, yeah, like that's a good place to go. We love that show. So, you know, that might be the next place we go.
And it's short and sweet, I think. It's only like 3 seasons as well, isn't it?
I think it's like three seasons, and they're not full season. They're like 12.
Yeah, they're like
Like-
Ted Lasso.
They're like Lasso, so
Yeah.
it should move pretty quick.
Should give you enough time to
Watch The Wire for the first time before we go
Yes.
into that,
yes.
if that's the next show. So I was having this conversation. So Tuesday night, I went to a Devils game in New Jersey, and I went with my friend Chris, one of my friends from college, and I was explaining the whole situation about how we're probably going to do The Good Place first, and that gives me enough time to watch The Wire so that I can rewatch The Wire when we go into it. And he's like, what other shows have you considered? I was like, we've thrown some other ones out there like Fringe and Once Upon a Time and Justified. He's like, have you ever considered Chuck? And I'm like, I would love to watch Chuck. Love to rewatch Chuck. He's like, has Kristin ever seen it? I'm like, I don't think she has. He's like, well, then good. He's like, if you have to watch The Wire while you're doing The Good Place, then she has to watch Chuck while you're doing The Wire.
We already do swap, Chris.
Kristin barely has enough time to watch the show she already watches.
I know. The Rick show's on tonight. Can't wait.
But he does make a good point that if I have to watch a show for the first time so that we can revisit it, you should have to do it at some point too.
You give me so many shows to watch without anything.
True.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll
Dave
see.
loves Chuck. Maybe
I
you and
l-
Dave can do a
Ooh,
special
Chuck
revisited.
Revisited.
Yeah.
I adore that show. That show's so
I would like
great.
to do West Wing.
Ooh, that's going to take a while
West Wing's so good.
because it was 8 seasons, and they're full
seasons.
like 22.
No,
episode
there's like
seasons.
200 episodes.
Yeah, look how long it took us to get through Lost.
That's true. Yeah, we burned through Ted Lasso.
Well, I mean, I was going to say because we love Ted Lasso, but we also love Lost.
Yeah. Well, we stayed
Look.
on schedule.
We did, and even got ahead of schedule a couple times, which we're working on again too.
Yes, spring break's coming.
Yeah, so we're going to be recording a number of episodes ahead of time, which is great.
Yeah.
So, especially considering next weekend is Easter weekend.
Yep.
So we're still releasing on time, but we're recording early.
Mm-hmm.
The following weekend, I'm going to be in Philly all weekend for WrestleMania. So we're going to be recording.
WrestleMania.
That's not the theme song, and I'm so glad.
Yeah. Well,
All right, let's talk Ted Lasso.
let's
we
do
are
that.
Season 3, episode 1, Smells Like Mean Spirit. We are officially in a place now where it's kind of new to us again.
Yeah.
Because I haven't rewatched season 3 at all.
Not once.
You-
Yep.
You haven't either.
Correct.
As I said before, the only episodes I've really rewatched in season 3 are the New Amsterdam episode
Yeah.
and the finale.
Yeah.
They're-
Just Amsterdam. I love Amsterdam. I love it so much.
And I love the series finale. So, like, that's the episode I've rewatched a number of times. The Amsterdam episode is the one you've rewatched a number of times. So, we're at a point now where this is kind of a little fresh again.
Yes. And
Which
it
is
felt
nice.
fresh. It felt fresh.
Yeah,
It felt fresh and it didn't feel fresh, actually.
I want to say, and we've made no bones about this because you've done it for a couple episodes as well. This episode did not blow me away as a great episode. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode.
Yeah.
Didn't feel great.
Well, it starts off on kind of a somber note. And in years past, we've had a more upbeat note. So I think that that was maybe an issue with this episode. It's a very low rated episode for Ted Lasso. I saw it on IMDb. It was 7.7. So that's
Which is still
pretty
higher
low.
than a lot of other shows get.
Right, but that's low for them, right?
Yes.
And I think a big reason why, and I wrote this down, is because, first of all, we do spoilers, look at the show notes, blah, 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 blah.
Thank
Okay.
you. I was going to do it when you were finished your point, but you did it anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It kind of feels like, and I'm going to use a How I Met Your Mother term here, revertigo, Where-
Vertigo. Nice.
where everybody's kind of back in their season 1 energy. Like Rupert's back in the mix of all of this, and it's got Rebecca reverting back to like she's still this evolved, wonderful, independent Rebecca, but that old trauma and that old abuse from Rupert is creeping back into her energy. Like her energy was so weird throughout the whole episode, right?
It's a power shift. Rupert has taken the power back again, and unfortunately shows in Rebecca. I mean, there's a whole conversation where Rebecca is talking about West Ham, and she keeps referring to the team as him,
right,
and not them. And Ted keeps correcting her.
No, Keeley kept.
Oh, Keeley kept correcting her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe both of them did.
I think they both did. I think Ted does it at some point as well. But yeah, like there's the whole conversation where she keeps referring to the team as him.
Right.
Because she sees Rupert. She doesn't see West Ham United.
She's also stressing out about the fact that everybody's projecting them to come in dead last. And, you know, I mean, they're not relegated, right? They've been promoted. Newly moved up. Yes, thank you. They're a newly promoted team. Of course, they're not going to be projected to do much because what is it? Jan said that, like,
statistically, most teams that get promoted get relegated again.
Right. So it's like, okay, well, we all know this. So why are we all freaking out about it? You know, you got that lasso magic in the locker room. Like, just do your thing and let's not worry about it.
Well, it would also be something different too if this was a worry that was coming after the season had already started. The season hasn't even started yet.
Right.
And Ted has consistently proven critics wrong.
He's consistently surprised everybody. Yeah.
So why are you stressing about this now? And I think it's Rebecca. I think the reason why Rebecca is stressing about it more has something to do with Rupert than anything else.
100%. But then the team is all up in their heads about it. And, you know, that's not really doing anything. And I love it that Roy had a plan. Roy was like, listen, the way that we do this is we consistency. We do the 2-4-4 or the 4-2-4. The 4-4-2. Great.
Yeah.
The 4-4-2 format, you know, and having a brain having a coach's brain be from a player's standpoint, I think at this moment for the team is really, really important. I think that we're going to be watching Roy come into his own as a coach and as a pretty damn good coach.
Well, because he, as much as Nate was blowing himself up, you know, Nate had seniority over Roy.
Right.
The whole time. Nate was a coach before Roy was.
Right.
Roy came in and was the bottom rung.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's stepping in. And he even says, like, I don't have the intelligence that Nate did, but here's what I think is going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think almost, it seems almost like Ted has learned from his last conversation with Nate as well, in the fact that he's like, yeah, you know what? I believe in you. I think that this is going to be great. You know, he's checking in with Roy. He's making sure Roy feels confident. And I think that that's something that maybe Ted didn't do right off the bat in seasons past, or maybe he did and just not towards Nate. I don't know. But, you know, everybody's head is somewhere else in this episode. Like everybody's head is somewhere else. Roy just obviously broke up with Keeley. Ted is still mourning or grieving the departure of Henry.
Home. Yeah.
Rebecca is a freaking disaster.
Keeley's in her own world now.
In her own world, that she's going to go down her own journey this season, which I hate, but that's okay. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's weird when the most level-headed of the entire cast for this episode is Jamie Tart.
Yep. Well, but I mean, even on that note too, like I want to say there's even a little bit of regression in Jamie in the beginning of this episode as well.
Because his hair is so terrible.
Well, not that. When
His
he
hair
says
is
like
terrible.
but when he says to the team, when the team is complaining after reading another review
yeah.
that they're going to be, they're going to finish in last place,
Mhm.
he's the one that steps up and says, "Hey, like everything's going to be okay. You've got me." Like, okay, that's a little bit of regression from Jamie.
No,
but
I think he was joking.
Maybe. But even if it was, he snaps out of it very quickly. He's the one person out of everybody on that team who gets Ted's point of the field trip before anybody else.
Yeah, it's just poopy. Let it flow.
Runs down, let it flow. Like,
Yep.
it's we're gonna play this clip's gonna get played a lot this episode, and I apologize, but
Remember, it's just poopy.
it's just
I just love that whole thing too in the sewer when the point that was being made in the most disgusting place you could possibly make a point is, if you need some confidence, get some from Jamie. I was like, hell yeah, get some from Jamie. If you need some happiness, borrow some from Danny. And he's like, yeah, all right, man. Yay,
And I want to say too, like I forget the character's name. The player from Italy, when he talks about like his love of expensive wines.
Oh no, that's the French guy.
The French guy, yeah. And he corrects him and he says, that's the common misconception. Not every great wine has to be an expensive wine. I'm like, fuck yes, it doesn't.
Yeah, but you know what? That is also so true about the teams. The teams don't have to be the most fancy number one projected team to be amazing.
You don't
like, if
need
that's
this. You don't need this high tech stadium. You don't need
Right.
to drive a fucking Bentley like Rupert gives Nate at the end of the episode. It's not about the cost. It's about the quality.
And the team that's in the sewers right now, that's the best team in the Premier League right now. And not because they're the most talented or they're going to win the most games. It's because they know each other. They trust each other. They've got a family-like bond at this point. And that means that they're going to play well together.
And not only that, but because of everything that's been said about them, about finishing in last place in the league, they are going to work the hardest because they have the most to prove.
And you know who's not going to work the hardest?
Nathan
West
Shelley,
Ham.
the Wonder Bitch.
God,
Sorry.
He is the worst. The worst. Like when he's walking into the facility and somebody's like, "Good morning, Coach Shelley." He doesn't even look in her direction like some kind of a wanker.
And then in the next scene, the guy comes in and says, "Good morning." He's like, "Get out."
Get out. He says, "Get out."
Yeah. Like it's here. So there's a huge dynamic in Nate to Ted in this episode. And there's always been a huge dynamic. But now that we're kind of shifting into the conversation about Nate, because we have to talk about it, there's no avoiding it. There are two different types of people in this episode, as they always are, but it's very deliberate in that Nate is pretending to be somebody that he's not, and Ted is no one other than himself. And that's completely clear from their press conferences.
Yeah.
He's reusing jokes that he used with Rupert because he sees that they work. But Ted is cracking, and Nate is making jokes about AFC Richmond, while during Ted's press conference, he's also making jokes about himself and AFC Richmond.
Right.
He's not cracking jokes at Nate or West Ham United. He does a little bit of cracking against Nate, but it's playful. But seeing the different roads taken, how they're the low and the high road, is so diametrically like, I don't know the word. Like it's so clear as day.
Well, it's just awesome because you see that Nate thinks that he's ready for this big coaching job. And we see him at his first press conference and he doesn't even know how to start it. Mm-hmm. He just expects people to start talking to him.
Actually, when he starts that press conference, the words that he's saying are lyrics to a song from a musical. He's becoming Ted in that moment. Or
Not
at
really.
least pretending,
Evil Ted.
or at least evil Ted, or at least like he's channeling Ted a little bit in that moment. And I don't think he's realizing he's doing it until he does it.
Yeah.
Because he kind of tampers off a little bit when he realizes what he's saying.
Well, and everything that he does, he looks over at Rupert for validation first, which is so gross.
Well, that's because Nate needs to be validated.
Right. But that's another thing, like with the whole Revertigo thing that I was talking about earlier. Like Nate is back to his like outward need to be validated and to be complimented and to be showered with love and attention. From Rupert, from the one that he wants that love and attention from. Right now it's Rupert. It has been Ted in the past, but now he's looking at Rupert for that same validation. You also have Ted in the very beginning. You see that he's looking a lot like he looked in season 1. He looks very depressed, down. He's thinking about his family back home a lot. And he's kind of he's mentally checked out of what's going on in the team until Rebecca's like, I need you to wake up, And he wakes up. He finally goes back to being the Ted that we know and love. But it takes him almost the entire episode to get there.
Yeah, because it's not until the field trip that he kind of finally realizes, like, okay, like I got to concentrate on the team. Yeah.
Well, it's not even the field trip. I don't think it's until that press conference where he finally realizes he needs to show a little bit of backbone. Maybe that is it. I mean, because like one of the best moments of that press conference too is kind of we see Rebecca snap out of it too. Yes. A little bit. Because 100%. She gets that text message from Keely. Yes. That says, way to let Ted be Ted. And she wasn't letting Ted be Ted. No, I think she kind of realizes even she's been holding Ted back a little bit. Well, how often do we see her in the press room watching him do this? Almost never. Well, we haven't seen her do it, I think, since season 1. Right. So she is trying to control the narrative and she's messing everything up by doing that. Yeah. Her hands-off approach is what is working with this team. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it was such a great moment because then we see her, she's very uncomfortable with the jokes that Ted's making until Keely helps her realize. How dumb are you? I love that too. And I got the same disappointment Ted did when they didn't get the Field of Dreams reference. Stone silent, man. Like, it's a classic movie. I'm sure Britain has to have seen that movie too. Like, come on. It is a classic movie. What does he say? I've got more corn than Kevin Costner's Outfield or something like that. Something like that, yeah. Yeah. Or my jokes are more corny than Kevin Costner's Outfield or something like that. Yeah. Well, good for us for knowing that quote. We're so smart. Look, I don't have a lot of quotes for the quote section in this episode. It's just poopy. There are some, and I have one or two, but I don't have a lot. I got to keep better track of it as we go forward. I'll be honest, I didn't really keep track of the quotes this episode. I just watched it. You know what? This episode is I think kind of like getting the pieces in place. Yeah, I can see that. I think one of the things is too that with seasons 1 and 2, I really only had to watch them once while I was taking notes because I had seen the episodes already enough times. Right. I think now with season 3, I have to go back to the approach of watching it twice before we record. Like I have to watch it once again as a viewer and then a second time to take my notes. Right. Because I almost feel, I know I'm not, and like we still have more to talk about, but I know that I almost feel unprepared because I don't have nearly as many notes as I usually do. But that's okay because it's just it is a setup premiere. We've had a bit of a break, at least 6 weeks because he was there for 6 weeks. And that's what Roy said at the end of last season. He said for 6 weeks we're going to go here. So obviously they all had 6 weeks off. Yeah, there was a break. So now they're all back. And I think it's just a kind of, okay, so where is everybody right now? Let's establish that. Because you have to establish that Roy and Keely broke up. You have to establish that Keely has this new life with these really awkward office people in her life. Mm-hmm. You have to establish that Rupert is screwing with Rebecca and Nate, which is bringing him lots of Emperor Palpatine joy.
Right? Even to the circular window behind his desk.
It is so Star Wars. It is ridiculous. And he looks like the Emperor. Like, he just looks sickly and dehydrated.
I love Anthony. I love Anthony Head though. Like I hate the character Rupert, but I love the actor that plays him.
Well, he's so good at being awful.
And he even said in interviews that he adored playing this part because it was just fun to be the villain of a show that
was as wholesome.
Is as wholesome as it is, exactly.
Right. You have Rebecca. Yeah, so you got that with Rebecca. And then what else? What else are we setting up? We're setting up the new coaching dynamic because we've got the 3 coaches now. We got to see what the team is doing and see how the team is reacting to everybody. Are they still all friends? Are they still all as close as they were? And yeah, they are. I mean, they're a relatively unchanged team, which is why it's going to be very exciting to see new blood coming in very soon.
Next episode.
Yeah. And then we have to see what's going on with Nate. How is Nate taking the new coaching gig? Because the last time we saw him, he was in a bad wig, being talked to by Rupert on the field, on the pitch.
A bad wig?
Yeah, that was a wig.
Was it?
Yeah. You could totally tell. Like, look at that last shot. It is a bad wig.
I don't think it is, because I've seen him
in other trivia.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Because he has since actually gone that gray.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Nick Muhammad himself has actually gone that gray.
I don't know why they gave him a wig, but it's a wig. You know, what's funny is that the one person that's not unchanged and who has remained steady and the same is Jamie fucking Tart.
I was going to say Phoebe, but okay.
Phoebe's even changed. Her voice is a little deeper. She's obviously gotten older.
She's older, yeah.
You know?
I mean, you're right. There's a lot of things that this episode is setting up. You know, and even going back to the very beginning of that opening shot of Ted, and you can see him mentally, you're right. He's drained. You can tell just by the look on his face and the way he looks physically, as a whole, he is so depressed in this fact that he is sending Henry home.
He's got his depression hair.
Yes. Yeah. And they do a really good job of hinting that of maybe it isn't what it seems to be, because you see him read that text that says, "Have a nice flight, you know, I love you." And it's from Michelle. And then in the next moment, and then in the next moment, that's when he says, "Your mom sent you a text." You don't realize at that moment that he's holding Henry's phone. Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's confusing in the beginning. You're like, what?
Yeah. It kind of makes you think that, like, wait, is Ted home and he's flying back to the UK? Like, or is he in the UK and he's flying home? Like, what is happening here?
I don't know why I couldn't figure it out. Like, that was really weird. I could not figure out like where they were until it was like, "Hello, Mr. Lasso." And I'm like, okay, got it. I know where we are. It's fine.
From Emma, the flight attendant.
Now, did you hear, and it's not really a spoiler because it's the name of an episode later, but did you hear over the intercom that they were talking about the flight to Amsterdam being delayed?
Oh, no, I wasn't paying attention to the loudspeaker.
It was just like a little thing that I noticed. And I was like, oh, they're going to Amsterdam.
I mean, we're still a couple weeks off of that. That's episode 6 of this season. So we've got and I think it is the highest rated episode of the season, minus
the finale.
Mom City and the finale.
Mom City's good too.
Mom City and the finale are the two. I think they're 2 of the highest rated episodes of the series.
I love Amsterdam. Anyways, I just noticed that they did have a small mention of Amsterdam, which I think is a big turning point in the season.
And it's the
episode
arc of the series too.
Yeah. So it's just the fact that they're like, Amsterdam's been delayed. It's like happiness has been delayed. Which
that's a good analogy.
Maybe.
Well, when you realize what Amsterdam is.
Right.
It's not an analogy right now.
No, but it's a hint. It is a piece of foreshadowing. which I love. I'm teaching foreshadowing right now to my middle schoolers, so I love foreshadowing.
But yeah, like going back to the whole setup of the episode and how like he just looks beaten and distraught, and they do a good job of, for the first 30 seconds, not even the first 30 seconds, maybe the first 10 seconds of the episode, they really get you wondering, where are we at?
Right.
Because it's a close up on Ted. He's seeing a text from Michelle that says, "Have a safe flight and I love you." It's like, oh, are they back together? Is he in the US right now and he's flying back to the UK and that's why he's depressed? Is like what is happening? And then, you know, it pans out and you see the entire world,
Right.
not just the close up, and you realize, oh, this is Henry's phone. Henry's been there. Henry's going home.
Right.
This is why he is the way he is.
But it also shows like how self-absorbed that Ted can be, which is not something that we get a lot from him. But when he starts to go down his depression pipe, he gets very, very focused inward on him. And that's why it's interesting that we start the episode with just him and then we pan out and we see what the whole scope is. You know, he's sitting right next to Henry and Henry's watching a video and he's so depressed about the fact that he has to say goodbye to Henry. He's not spending those last moments with Henry.
And if you look at that scene, he's actually not next to Henry. There are seats in between them.
Yeah, right.
They are
exactly.
separated. And it's almost like by doing that, Ted was starting the separation before Henry had to go home.
And yeah, and that's very interesting. That's
because it's a very sad and depressing thing for us as viewers too, to when we switch back to Ted returning back to his flat, he's cleaning up everything that him and Henry had built over the past 6 weeks.
The forts.
The forts, putting the cushions back on the couch, cleaning up the bowls of cereal they were eating. The only thing that stays is the Lego Stadium, which I'll be honest with you, I want.
Awesome. Yeah.
And I would not take that apart either.
No.
That would
I'd
be
take that
somewhere
into my
on a shelf.
office. I'd take that into my office and I'd be like, this is what my son sees. You know,
Yeah.
this is how you are viewed through the eyes of a child.
Look, I'll be honest. I'm in my 40s. I still play with Legos. I have the Lego Firehouse, and it was such a point of pride that I bought that thing and put it together. And it was so heartbreaking to take it apart and put it in a bin.
Yeah.
And I'm to the point now where, you know what? Ghostbusters is out again. Maybe I should break it out and put it back together.
Yeah, do it. Well, Adam spent 5 days putting together the whole Hogwarts castle when he was little, when he was like 5 or 6 years old. And this little girl came over to our house and went upstairs to his room and smashed the thing to pieces.
Why?
Because she was crazy. And since then, any kid that comes over to the house and even starts to like go up the stairs, Adam still to this day is like, don't go in my room. Because he's scared. He collects the Star Wars ships, so he's got a ton of ships that are built and on his dresser, and he's just terrified that the same thing is going to happen again. Which I totally
when I come over, Adam can show me all his Lego stuff and know that it's safe because I appreciate the sanctity of Lego.
Yes, well, everybody should. Takes a lot of work.
And the challenge,
and it's expensive.
And the challenge for me putting the Ghostbusters Lego Firehouse back together again is when you first put it together, everything is in bags that are numbered.
Yeah, you have to find it.
Now I have to find it in this huge bin of Legos. So it's going to take me longer, but I'm up for the challenge. Anyway,
yeah, that's awesome.
Back to I want the Lego AFC Richmond. If they ever make it, I want it.
That's so cool. Yeah.
But I love the fact that he keeps that together and like and I'm pretty sure it's not a spoiler. I think that stays throughout the entire season.
Yes.
I think that stays on his coffee table the entire time. It does because it comes up in Mom City. I'm remembering that now.
You know what I really love about what's different about Ted? Like, because he's very depressed. You could tell that he could spiral at any moment. And what does he do?
Calls Dr. Sharon?
He calls Dr. Sharon.
Okay. I'm glad you brought this up because I actually there is something about this that I really do love. And it's the fact that I love the fact that we're seeing Dr. Sharon again. We don't get a lot of her at all this season. Actually, I don't think we see her again until the finale, if I remember correctly.
Don't worry. We left her in a good spot.
We left her in a great spot. And I love the fact that even though Ted is beaten and he's depressed and he's going through all of this, we see that the lasso effect has changed somebody because Dr. Sharon has allowed herself to now be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Or even if it's not a relationship, even if it's just having fun with somebody.
With a rugby player.
She has allowed herself to open herself up to do this, which we know from last season she never did before Ted.
Right? Yeah, she has a life.
Yeah.
She's allowed herself to have a life. And I like it that she made the very naked man wear headphones.
Wear headphones. Yep. I picked up on that too.
She's so ethical. I just love how ethical she is.
Oh, you've gotten off? Not yet, I haven't.
Not yet, I haven't. Door closes. Yeah, Dr. Sharon.
I love that even in this moment of kind of despair and everything that we're still seeing the effect Ted has had on other people.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're seeing it through Dr. Sharon, who's the one person that's helping him now.
But she was his hardest nut to crack.
Yeah.
Harder than Roy,
100%.
harder than Jamie, harder than all of them. If he could change the heart of Dr. Sharon, Ted Lasso can do anything.
Yeah. 100%. So I agree with that completely. Let's see, checking some of my notes. Because I have that in my notes too, sending Henry home and then the conversation with Dr. Sharon afterwards.
How about the truth bomb at the end of the episode with Henry?
Oh, who's Jake?
Who is that? Mom's friend.
Oh,
and then he said, did you notice that Ted said, "Oh, snap," when he saw the gauntlet?
Oh, I didn't pick up on that. That's such a great little nod. I love it. I didn't pick up on that. Now I want to go back and rewatch that scene to see that. That had to have been done intentionally.
Oh, of course it was.
Had to have been done intentionally. But getting back to the point of the mention of Jake, we have spoken about him in spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
We will have a lot to say about Jake this
Mom's
season.
new friend Jake.
Mom's new friend Jake. We will have a lot to say about Jake this season. But going on that note, too, we've talked a lot about in past episodes how the use of music is really well done and well used in the show. The closing song that happens is Ring the Alarm by Beyonce, which just the title of that song is so fitting for that moment for Ted. Like, I don't even know what the lyrics to that song are and if they fit in with what's happening, but just the title of the song, Ring the Alarm, because that is happening. That is what is happening in Ted's mind in that moment right there.
He's going to be ringing the alarm for the Diamond Dogs.
Oh, God. I can't wait to see more Diamond Dogs this season.
Yeah. A lot more Diamond Dogs.
Yeah, they're with new members.
Yes.
Or a new member.
Yes.
Of the Diamond Dog, because they lost one in Nate. Although Nate had given up on the Diamond Dogs by the end of
it. Did they lose him? No.
His heart was not in it. So it was something that was kind of hinted at the end of season 2 with the finale, but we know now officially Ted and Keeley have broken it off in this. I know you have big issues with that.
I do. I think that it's okay to be successful and have a partner.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely. And because you have an issue with it, I know other people have had issues with it. I've actually learned to have my own issues with it. Yeah. Because I ship Keeley and Roy so fucking hard in the show because their relationship is fantastic.
Yes.
It's never. I'm not even gonna. I was gonna say hashtag relationship goals, but I'm not that person.
But you are.
But I did it anyway.
You did just do it anyways. So let's just get that out of the way.
Let's just walk past that.
Yeah.
I also said ship, which isn't me either. What is happening to me?
Because Roy and Keely make us do things that we don't want to do because they're so freaking cute.
Yeah. I mean, we do see a little bit of it in the conversation with Keely and Rebecca, where, you know, she says she doesn't have time for a lot of people in her life. She even double booked Rebecca.
She double booked Rebecca with a cry sesh. It's like,
which I love the fact that Keely's makeup leaves stains on people's shirts, so much so that Higgins even shows he has his own. It's kind of like a badge of honor.
Times, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like a badge of honor you wear to have been someone that Keely cried on your shoulder.
I like it that he's like, and she puts this on her eyes. I love Higgins's heartburn moment. Oh, where does your son put Richmond?
Anytime he does that, like, I love that. That's a little nuance in Higgins that they just never got rid of and never goes away.
Yeah. Well,
anytime he
like
gets
Kathy.
uncomfortable,
it's like Kathy, the Kathy comic. Ack. Like that's what I assume that Higgins is doing the Kathy ack.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that could kind of be it. But I mean, we see like Keely is as much as we dislike the whole element of, well, it's kind of weird though. Because actually, now that I think about it, you feel like Keely is really moving on into a great place, but I don't feel like even she feels a little fish out of water-ish, similar to Nate in this episode.
She didn't know what a CFO was.
I know.
That shows how out of her depth she is.
Yeah, I feel like she is very fish out of water. I mean, it's great for her to have this opportunity, but she hasn't fully moved into it yet. And I don't think she does for a while.
Ready for it.
Yeah. She might have moved too fast into it.
Yeah. Into being that funded with a whole staff and everything. But, you know, that's something that we can talk about when we start talking about her boss, her financer.
When her boss comes into play. Yeah.
Yeah. Her backer. She's her own boss, but her backer.
Yeah. But it's it's interesting too, because sometimes all the glitter and gold that you're offered isn't always worth the prize, because we see that with Sam last season.
Yeah.
He was offered so much and put so much on a plate in front of him. Sam knew enough to turn it down. Keely was offered the same plate and took it.
So it's confidence, probably, because we know that Sam is sure of who he is. He is confident in his abilities as a person and as an athlete. Keely is somebody who has always second-guessed herself. And so to get this opportunity, I think, is something that she felt that she could do, but nobody really prepared her for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. But then again, also at the same time, the third person who was also given a silver platter in front of them was Nate. And Nate took it, and Nate also is not ready for what he was given.
No.
But the downside to Nate is that, so Sam was offered the silver platter and turned it down because he's confident in who he is, as you mentioned. Keely's offered the silver platter, but once she took it, she wasn't given anything else. So she was kind of ill-prepared. Nate was given the silver platter, and now they're still piling stuff on that plate. Rupert's given him the Bentley.
He got the car because he did so well at the press conference.
But again, it's still piling more on that silver platter. So much that it's going to weigh him down.
Oh, 100%. And, what weaker people don't realize is that showering of gifts is going to come back and bite you.
Yeah.
The people giving you these gifts expect a return on their investment.
Nothing is free.
Nothing is free with these types of people, with Rupert types of people. And he watched Rebecca pay that price. So it's interesting that he's walking into this relationship, for lack of a better word, with Rupert, knowing what he does, because he's been there longer than Ted and Beard were.
Well, it's also interesting too because Nate is kind of two-faced at this point, and I don't mean that in. Well, he is absolutely two-faced in this point because we mentioned when he's going up the escalator and the woman says good morning to him, he completely ignores her. When the gentleman comes in and says good morning, he tells him immediately get out. He's putting on this front of being this all-powerful person, even when he talks to his own players. This is the dumb line.
That
was a I wanted to kick you in the face moment.
I always want to
too.
kick him in the face. Always.
But when he is in Rupert's presence, he completely regresses into a child again. Like he fumbles over his words. He second guesses himself. He's very timid. He is not the person that he pretends to be in front of everybody else.
Right. Because he knows he's not that person.
He regresses in front of Rupert.
Right.
Because he's intimidated. Even so, we see the first thing he does when he goes into the office is he gets on the computer because he needs the validation from everybody online.
I love it when after Ted's conference and how it all swings away from him.
Yep. All the attention is on Ted. All the positivity is on Ted.
When they go low, you go high.
Yep.
I tell that to everybody that will listen to me. When they go low, you have to go high. You have to.
Well, even the whole spitting thing comes back into play this episode again, too, because Nate starts to have a panic attack.
Oh, what?
I know. Like he is in the same situation Ted is in and starts to have a panic attack like Ted. He is experiencing, it's coming back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah. Well, couldn't be happening to a more deserved person.
And it's just, I love the fact that Ted, when he has his press conference and he just starts cracking on himself, like, you know what? Like, that's great. I wish him all the luck. But, he left so much on the table.
Yeah.
And starts making all these jokes that Nate could have made. And he has won the audience back.
Yeah.
He has won the fans back.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say, I don't even think the fans, I was going to say, I don't think the fans ever turned on him, but even the wanker guy gave him the finger in the beginning of the episode.
I think that's just cheeky, That's like maybe an inside joke with them at this point.
Yeah.
There was no May and there was
I was literally just going to say that.
They didn't even go into the bar.
It would have been interesting to see how May feels about all this right now. All the reports of them finishing last. Because I would have loved to have heard May's opinion.
And Jeremy, Paul, and Baz.
Yeah.
Our three amigos. When Beard's like, are we getting a beer coach? No, just pass your apartment.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just because of how distracted Ted was about everything. And you know what? Like, you're right. Like, everybody seems to have other things in their life happening. Beard's the only one that doesn't. Beard is still focused on the game.
Because Beard is right where he wants to be. Beard lives in the moment. He always has lived in the moment. And it's proving to be the strength of the team and the show right now, because the fact that Beard never changes is one of the best parts about the show, is that he's that reliable friend.
I know we're still a long way off.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say.
Man, when you finally get Beard's backstory,
it all clicks into place.
It is, and it's one of the best moments of this season.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's only a couple minutes, but man, like, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's such a huge moment. And Beard has an awful lot of scary knowledge about toad venom.
Okay, so I thought that was slang for something.
No,
it's really
not.
Toad venom?
Oh, it's toad venom.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a psychedelic.
Well, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's why you should never lick a frog's eyeball.
Well, that's exactly where toad venom comes in.
Gross.
It's a psychedelic. I don't know because I've done it. I had a lot of hippie friends growing up. So
So did
know
I,
this
but they
exists.
all did peyote. They didn't do toad venom.
But so like Beard has an awful lot of knowledge about toad venom, and it's kind of
Right.
scary. It's like I was like, no, it'll be life changing, but he can drive.
He's gonna have 20 minutes where he can't do anything.
We talked a little bit about the field trip, but we didn't really go into too much detail about it. And it's this field trip that Ted takes the team on to go down into a pothole into the sewer system. And look, I mean, the point that he is trying to make is legitimate, and I'm glad that the team picks up on it. But it is a point of contention because there are pictures that are revealed. It's what causes Nate to kind of make the crack on Ted, like, well, it's appropriate because he's such a shitty coach. And I feel like even Rebecca was a little right in getting a little mad about it.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No.
You
Ted
think she
always
should have
has
just
a
trusted?
plan.
You think she should have just trusted Ted's?
I think that at this
decision to
point,
do it?
after all this time, trust that Ted knows what he's doing. So they came out of the sewer. You could say, yeah, they went on a field trip looking for Ninja Turtles. Like, who cares?
And it's funny too that even the team, even though they're second guessing what they're doing, they still do it because they have
who was
the trust
first
in
down
Ted.
that hole?
Oh, it's Sam.
Sam.
Yep. Sam was the first one down. I find it a little odd that Ted took Henry on that tour. But,
no, remember, it was because of the movie It.
I missed that part.
He accidentally watched the movie It on the way over because he was watching someone else's screen.
That's
so he was
right.
scared out of his mind of the sewers. So they confronted his fear.
That's right. Which in a way, that's actually kind of what he's doing with the team.
He's confronting their fears that they are a shit team.
Yeah. And giving them the point that shit just flows downstream. It floats away.
Just poopy.
I love the fact that Henry jokes with him when he calls him and tells him he landed and he watched a movie called The Exorcist.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
And Ted legitimately gets a little freaked out there for a minute until Henry tells him he was just joking.
Anybody that has seen The Exorcist knows that that's an immediate cause for issue.
Well, because not only that, but in Ted's mind, like, okay, he took him down into the sewer to confront his fear about it. What's he going to do to confront his fear about The Exorcist?
I don't know. Go to Georgetown and walk down the stairs. I don't know.
Eat pea soup and realize you don't have to vomit it up. Like, I don't know.
Your head won't spin around in circles.
Look, Henry, your head only goes so far.
Yep.
The
The Exorcist. Ooh. That crab crawl in The Exorcist is something else.
That movie is just exceptional. I think
I got everything.
I think I got everything too. One of my own. I'll just bring this up because it's just one of my favorite moments of the episode is right before they go on the field trip and Ted's telling them all to go to the bus. He's like, all right, everybody run except Roy. And the whole team runs and Roy's just doing like this Terminator kind of
walk. Yes.
Terminator walk. I just love that. It's one of my favorite
We said
moments.
last one to the bus is something. And then he says, no, everybody run except Roy.
Yeah. And the whole team takes off and Roy's just doing the Terminator walk behind him. Even the music changes in it to kind of like that menacing walk.
It's Roy.
I love
it. Whistle.
So yeah, I think that's everything I have too. I do have one thing for spoilers.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I have one more thing.
Okay.
Because, and I don't know if Dave talks about it in his feedback because I didn't read it, but he did make the comment last night. He goes, this is how great this show is that you have these really fleshed out characters right down to the team bus driver who used to be in a cult, used to be the leader of a cult.
Used to lead the cult.
And now he lives at the practice facility and smokes toad venom in the bus.
Yeah. Just every character. We talked about this from episode one.
Every character has a story.
Every character has a story. Every character is part of this entire journey.
Yep.
Nobody is filler. Everybody has their moments. Everybody is somehow part of this entire tale,
which is wonderful.
It's great.
Yeah.
So nothing else for you for non-spoilery
That
stuff?
was it.
Okay, so then with that being said, I don't see this being very long, but if you want to avoid spoilers, check the show notes to find out when we're going to come back in. I only have one thing
for
spoilers. I don't know if you have anything at all.
I have kind of, not really.
So we talked in for the season 2 finale, Alex was the one that kind of brought this point to our attention in how the season bookends with a close-up on Nate. It starts with the close-up on Nate in the premiere, and then it ends with the close-up on Nate in the finale. This season's going to do the same thing. It starts with the close-up on Ted being depressed and disheveled, and it ends with the close-up on Ted home and happy.
Home and happy. Yeah. I love it. That's beautiful.
It's a great bookend. They're doing it makes me almost want to go back to season 1
and see what they did.
And see, I think the bookending of season 1 is the spitting in the face. Sort of, because I think that happens in the premiere, but it's also the last scene of season 1.
Well, we'll have to look.
Yeah, I'd have to go back. But season 3 is going to be bookended with the close-up on Ted.
That is awesome.
In a completely different state of mind.
Right.
Like I said, home and happy.
With Henry. I mean, he's with Henry in both instances, too.
Oh, that's true. He is. He's with Henry in both cases.
Yep.
Because he's with him in the airport in the premiere, and in the end, he's with him at the soccer game. He's the coach of the soccer
he's sitting next to him. I wouldn't say that he's with Henry in the beginning, but in the end, he is with Henry coaching him.
Yeah, he's coaching his soccer team.
Yep.
At home.
And he gets to call it soccer.
Yes, it's true.
No Trent Krim this episode.
Yet.
I know, but I was sad. And there's a new Trent Krim, the Independent.
I'm trying to see when we get.
I think we get him next episode.
I think he is next episode. I think he comes back. I think next episode is the episode where we're going to find out that he's going
to write a book.
I can't wait. I fucking love Trent Krim this season.
I do too. He's my favorite part about this season. He really is.
His character is so so important to the story in this season too, because he's important to Colin this season. He's important to Ted. He's important to Beard. The shit that happens with him and Roy this season is like, I can't wait to get into the Trent Krim of this season.
I agree. And you know what? He really proves to be important in the previous seasons as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the reason why he's the reason why Nate is where he is. I think, he did that huge piece on Ted and his anxiety, but he gave that nod to Ted, like, hey, this is going to be out in the news. You need to know this. And he lets him get ahead of it, Yeah. And then in the first season, he writes that article about Ted saying, like, he is absolutely the wrong person for this job, but I can't help but root for him.
And he is the one reporter out of everybody that actually takes the time to get to know Ted.
Yes.
Yes. which is going to come back because that is what his objective is in this season.
Yeah. Because you're right. Something special.
And he does come in next episode.
Yes.
I can't wait.
So I only have one other thing, and that's Henry is proving to be Ted's reason. I don't know if reason is the right word, but that he remains open-minded about Nate. Because at the very end of this episode, he's like, just because he's not on the team anymore doesn't mean that you can't still be friends. And Ted has to remember that he's a father, and that when he's up in those press conferences, Henry's watching. When he's on the on the sidelines of the pitch during the games, Henry's watching. He knows that Henry is always watching him. So I think that that Henry proves to be a catalyst for Ted going on this healing journey when it comes to Nate, that at the end he is accepting of Nate coming back to the team. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Henry keeps him humble, keeps him honest, keeps him from going down the hate spiral that Beard obviously has gone down.
Well, not only that too, but let's not forget there is a point this season, and I do remember this. There is a point this season where when Henry comes to visit, and I think it's the episode where
They go to the game.
They go to a West Ham United game.
Yep. And they cheer him on, and they're wearing West Ham clothing.
Yeah, it's Ted, Henry, and Beard go to a West Ham game.
Are you sure Beard went?
I think Beard is with him.
Beard hates Nate. Are you sure?
Maybe. I don't know.
There's no way you could get Beard in that stadium.
No, because I think Beard goes to scout. I think
we're going to have to see.
Yeah. Again, there's a lot about the season that I don't remember. I know for sure Ted and Henry go to a West Ham United game.
Well, if Beard goes, he better stay in AFC Richmond.
I thought Beard was there. Maybe I'm wrong.
I just don't see it with the hate that he has for Nate, but he does. But as much as he hates Nate, he loves Ted the same amount. You know what I mean?
Oh no, Beard is there.
Crazy.
I'm looking at it now.
Is he in
Beard is in AFC Richmond colors,
and the other two are in West Ham, right?
Henry is wearing West Ham. Ted is just wearing a jacket.
Ted's like, I'm Switzerland in this moment.
I'm looking at the scene now. He is, Henry is wearing West Ham, so he is supporting Nate. Beard is stoic as usual, wearing AFC Richmond colors, sunglasses and hat and all. Arms
Greyhounds, baby.
And Ted is just wearing his puff jacket with like khaki pants. So he is not showing colors of either side. Okay. But you have to figure there are people there that know who he is. Which
is probably why he didn't wear either.
True.
Beard's
Beard doesn't care.
Yeah, no.
Beard doesn't care.
Beard don't care. Anyways, I just thought if it weren't for Henry, I think that Nate's journey wouldn't have taken him back to AFC Richmond.
I agree. And it's almost like Henry kind of predicted that it was going to happen.
Yeah, he said, "Excuse me, why is he up in the stands? He still needs to be a part of this team."
Yeah. Well, it's that whole anytime a child tells you something, most of the time it's true.
Yeah.
When it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to who ate the ice cream, they usually lie. But when it comes to stuff like that, like when it pertains to life, especially adult situations, kids tell you how they see it. And that's how Henry sees it. He sees Nate is still a part of Ted's life. And, like you said, you can still be friends, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
So, before we leave spoiler territory, we forgot to play this last week.
I was going to say, don't forget this time.
Nope. I remember this time. I made a note of it. Greg left us a voicemail last week for spoilers about inverting the pyramid of success, which was the season 2 finale. So before we leave spoiler territory, we're going to play this now to see what Greg had to say about that. So let's play that.
Good evening. This is Greg. All right. So we are on Inverting the Pyramid. Is that what this one's called? So this one's for spoilers. I just wanted to talk a little bit and respond to Kristin's viewpoint of this being the major misstep of the show and the writing of the story with regard to breaking up Roy and Keeley. I think you could look at it from the point of view of you could still have Roy and Keeley together and being great and everything hunky dory, and using what's the concept of, a woman's place is only, or a woman's point in the plot is only to further a man's own personal growth. Like, you can look at it from that point of view. But I also think that if what they wanted to do was address a different version of mental health and or mental illness or mental anxiety or frustration or whatever, by going through Roy's his arc, right? His mental health arc. Um, what I've noticed a lot in this rewatch is that you've got several different archetypes of mental health or lack thereof, from post-divorce Rebecca and revenge to post-divorce Ted and anxiety. We've got Roy, who goes from a very shut down and open, or rather, sorry, shut down and emotionally closed off man to, by the end of the series, he's just like he's advancing, right? He's wearing colors. He's you got Jamie going from a very confident cock to a very confident, decent person. I think good teammate. I think he really, obviously, from the beginning of the series to the end of the series, he makes amazing, huge strides. Sam is becoming better and better, and it's just. I think that this is the story they wanted to tell. They wanted to tell a story of how Roy got his mojo back, and I think they planted the seeds for it, not just in the Miss Bowen uh, episode, but in this one where she just looks so powerful, so strong. It's like, I didn't even need to be there. She would just be better off without me, and that self doubt coming in, and while maybe they could have gone about it a better way, I this is the story they wanted to tell, and I can appreciate their story for it. Anyway, all right, on to not spoiler stuff in a bit. All right, bye.
I was almost ready for him to say. I was almost waiting for him to say Jamie was this, this cock, and now he's a better cock. You're muted.
Now he's just poopy.
Now he's just poopy. But thanks for that, Greg.
He does wear color. He wears a tie-dye shirt. Remember?
Oh, that's right. We're still in spoilers, so we can bring that up.
He wears a tie-dye shirt.
He wears the tie-dye shirt, and I think that's in like the third to last episode.
Remember, because Trent Krim is like, what?
Oh, I know. We talked about that. I think we talked about that in spoilers last week.
I just want to watch all of Trent Krim right now. I said during the Game of Thrones rewatch podcast when I did it, that I wanted somebody to take all of Arya's scenes and just like edit them all together for me so that I could just see Arya's like journey. I'd like someone to do the same for me for Trent Krim.
We're back out of spoilers now, so welcome back to everybody. Before we do quotes and everything, you just mentioned Game of Thrones. Going back to my conversation with my buddy Chris when he was talking about like different shows to talk, he's like, "Have you guys considered doing Game of Thrones?" I was like, "No." I was like, "Kristin cannot rewatch Game of Thrones
ever again."
Nope. He's like, "Why not? It's a great show." I'm like, the last season, I was like, ruined the entire show for her.
Yep.
I was like, she loves House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Which there are trailers for the new season.
Still haven't seen them.
I don't think you will either, will you?
Probably not.
Yeah, because you podcast on it. So
yeah,
it's nice. But apparently there are two trailers, and
a green trailer and a black trailer.
Yep, exactly. I haven't watched them yet either. So
I know the story. I know how it ends. I'm like, do I really want to do this? Do we really want to do this? Really, because there's no happy ending. I mean, if you've watched Game of Thrones, kind of know that there's no happy ending. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, because you already know the backstory
Yep.
of what House of the Dragon is about when you go into Game of Thrones.
There is no surprise.
So, quotes for this episode.
It's just poopy.
It's just poopy.
Remember, it's just poopy.
I only have two. One of them is the guys outside of the sewer pump when he's like, "Is that Roy Kent?" I don't know. Roy Kent, is that you? Get fucked.
That's him.
And the other quote I have is literally 4 words, and I felt it so hard when she said it. When Keely says, "Fuck you, Joe Rogan."
Oh, yes. 100%.
When she says that, I was like, yes.
There was also another really cool quote that I can't remember. I should have written it down, but it's like, doubt is cured by action or something like that.
Let me see.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I remember. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. Let me see if I can find. See, I don't know if. Yeah, it's not gonna fucking. There we go. Nope, that doesn't work. I'm using a different browser and it works weird. I don't know how to find on page with this anymore. So I don't know exactly what the quote is.
But it was something like that. It was like the way to alleviate doubt is through action. It was something like that. And I just thought that was like something I could like put on my board, you know?
There we go. Dr. Sharon says it. Well, as the man once said, doubt can only be removed by action.
Yes, doubt can only be removed by action.
Yes.
I thought that was excellent. And I think that that's a really good mantra for anybody who is unsure.
Well, I mean, it almost goes, it kind of plays into the whole actions speak louder than words kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Any other quotes from you on your end?
Nope.
Okay. So then with that being said, we're going to dive into the feedback section of the podcast, in which we have a couple. We have another one from Greg that we're going to play first, because this one goes back to the signal. This is one he has been trying to send us for weeks now, and apparently it just never came through for some reason. He sent it one time a couple weeks ago, and it was nothing but empty. There was nothing there.
Huh.
It was just minutes of silence. Let's hope that's not the case this time, because I haven't played it, so I don't know. However, this is the final. We've been playing a lot of backlog from Greg over the past couple weeks, so much so that last week we joked that he was our guest host for the episode.
He was our guest host.
This is the last one. He does leave one for this episode as well, but he is caught up after we play this one from the signal, which is good. So we'll play that first before we get into the feedback from this episode and see what he has to say. I think this has to do with the differences of coaching style between Roy and Nate. I'm not sure.
Oh, fun. Okay.
So let's play it now.
Hello, Revisited. This is Greg. Apparently my last voicemail, or one of my voicemails, was completely blank. And so not sharing my thoughts with you was, I don't know, a little irritating that I got that work. Anyway, what I was discussing specifically was Nate's coaching style, i.e. being a prick, versus Roy's coaching style. We've addressed the fact that Roy is a former football player. He knows the physics beyond it. How many times has a slumping baseball hitter gone through a period of, man, my timing's just not off, my mechanics aren't right, whatever the case is. But the coach who has played the game, he can say, hey, Colin, you're leaning your head too far back. Keep your head down and just fucking whip it. That's great. That is absolutely necessary for like a strength and conditioning coach, a hitting coach, or a physics coach. But that's not what Nate is. Nate, who has seen coaches from all levels grown up with the game, he assumes that these are professionals. He's made comments on it several times. Hey, let's just show Danny how big his goddamn paycheck is. Oh, what position does your mother play for the club? They're supposed to be professionals, and for the basics of a sport, which is, a ball is coming, kick it in a direction, they should be able to accomplish that. And so he addresses each failure of, say, for example, Colin, as how are you unable to accomplish the very basest portion of your job? If as a coach, I didn't know the game, i.e. Ted, I may be fired very quickly, but Ted brings something else to the table. But Nate he sees all of these things, and he is treating these professionals in a negative way. He is giving negative feedback, and some people respond to it. But he is giving them feedback as professionals. Hey, that was a good cross, but it doesn't mean anything if you didn't kick it into the goal. Again, not necessarily a defensive Nate, because I'm not really, really big on negative feedback coaching or parenting or whatever. But, it is what it is. You emulate what you see and what you experience. And that is what Nate has seen his entire life. It's all been negative reinforcement. We saw it at the beginning of that episode of The Signal when he, that was the other one. At the beginning of, I think it's Headspace, we saw it where, hey, look, they'll let everything in the paper. And then his dad's like, being humble is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking about yourself less. Well, that's negative reinforcement of his behavior. Hey, don't do that. Colin, don't do that. Don't miss the kick or whatever. Anyway, I kept it almost as long this time. Hopefully it's not too long. All right, bye.
Kristin, would you like to comment? Okay.
I mean, yes, but I don't want to shit all over Greg. I just think that, okay, so, well, all right. So,
go ahead.
No, please. I'm doing a great job so far.
I think I can see the point that Greg is trying to make, but I think there's a line that Nate crosses in the way that he does things. There's a difference between negative reinforcement and constructive criticism, and Nate leans way heavier on the negative reinforcement. I think had we listened to this voicemail a couple weeks ago when he first tried to send it, I think maybe we would have leaned more towards Greg's way of thinking.
No,
but this episode,
sorry.
However,
sorry, Greg, I love you.
However, from what we see of Nate's coaching style in this episode, now that he is the head coach of West Ham United, with the whole dum-dum line thing, no, there's what he does is wrong. His coaching style is wrong.
I think that we've known that from the very beginning. I mean, that's a great speech that he first gives when he's roasting everybody during that one halftime. But we get a really good idea of what Nate can be like if you take his leash off. And I'm sorry to be crass with that analogy or that metaphor, but I mean, it's, when he was getting promoted to coach, he told off Rebecca, like no fear, told off Rebecca, called her a fucking shrew.
Yeah.
And then we see him he says, show him how big his paycheck is. And then we see him say, oh, what position does your mother play? I mean, we see exactly who he is and the kind of coach he would be and the kind of person that he is underneath his flubbing insecurity. Well, I'm so sorry. I don't know. Fuck you, dude. You're a dick.
Well, not only that, but like it's one thing to treat the team that way, but when he starts coming in saying like you'd be a fool not to use my play to people
Right.
in front of Ted and Beard and Roy, no, you have crossed a line at that point.
Right. Oh, 100%. I don't I don't really see that aspect, or I don't see Nate from the perspective that Greg is seeing him, but Greg is a lot more forgiving than I am. He has proved that over the course of all of his voicemails that he is a very forgiving person. And I have no patience for assholes.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder how you and I have podcasted so long.
Because you're not an asshole.
It's my way of being tongue-in-cheek and making fun of myself.
I know. You
But
and my
just-
husband are very alike in that.
But I mean, even like the whole going to the roast thing, like when he does that in the locker room, like that was a moment that was taken very tongue-in-cheek. What he was saying was true, but they kind of took it as a roast. They were laughing about it and everything. It's completely different when it is drilled into you constantly as a form of negative reinforcement. You can only do that so much before it becomes tedious and it becomes looked at as in it's downgrading you as a person and as a player.
Yeah.
Like he is the things that he is doing to people like Colin and to Jamie and all these other people. It's one thing to do them at that as a player, but eventually when it's all you're getting, it's going to kill your self-esteem. It's doing more
Colin,
damage than harm.
And Colin has to tell himself he's not a piece of shit over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know that something's going wrong.
Yes. Look at Nate himself.
Right.
All the negative comments and the negative reinforcement he got from Jamie and Colin and McAdoo.
And his dad.
All his life. It has become, look at the person he has become because of that.
Right.
He himself is now a negative person.
So
negative
maybe
reinforcement is no.
Maybe he thinks that Ted abandoned him because Ted was not negative to him, and so he felt ignored by Ted.
When it is, I'm going to relate this to my own personal life again too. I came from a household where when I lived with my estranged father, I came from a household where the only way to get attention was to yell.
Right.
That's the kind of household I came from, and it took me so long to break that. Because it was doing more damage than harm, not just within my own home and within my family, but to myself, to my friendships, to everything. It was doing more damage than good. And it takes you a while to break that. And the only way to break that is to get away from it. And my life is so much better now because of it. And that's kind of very similar to how Nate is. Nate has grown up with nothing but negative reinforcement. And even whether it's his personal life or his career, he has been surrounded by negative reinforcement. And look at the person it has made him become.
Right.
So I see where Greg is coming from, but there's a point where it crosses a line. And Nate has crossed that line.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Nate is a boat without a rudder.
And a sail.
Right.
He's directionless right now.
Yep.
He thinks he
he's
knows
not
where he's going.
directionless. He got picked up by a big, mean, evil ship.
He's being towed in the wrong direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're amazing.
Analogies. But I appreciate, again, Greg making the point. So Greg, I appreciate that. So I think we just see it a little differently.
While we totally disagree with you, we love the fact that you put yourself out there for us. Thanks, dude.
Let's continue on though with the feedback for this episode.
Sure.
For the feedback for this episode, in which we have 2 more voicemails and 2 pieces from social media and email. Where do you want to start first?
Let's do the email from Dave.
Okay,
I'm going to read it.
go ahead.
Hello, Ben, Kristin, and Aurora. Oh, Yeah,
My cat.
He loves Aurora. Great start to the season. There is a lot happening here. First, a quick jump back to your coverage of season 2, episode 10. The Funko Pop of Jeremy, Paul, and Baz has to include each of them holding a boot from the pub. Back to season 3. Rebecca is way too invested in what the experts are predicting for her club. Trust the process, trust Ted. Rupert is really leaning into the villain persona with the goatee and the Palpatone throne room vibes. Did he have the goatee in season 2? Nate is a class A despicable douchebag. Jamie is emerging as a leader. It's just poopy. Ted is enjoying the crisp air up on the high road. He is such a good dude. Roy and Keely's breakup was not only a terrible idea on paper, but it was so badly written into the actual show. Such a shit idea and shit execution. Thank you. Agreed. Can't wait to hear your breakdown of the episode. Cheers, Dave. Meow.
God. Did he put the meow at the end? Or did you do that?
No, I did it.
All right. Yeah. So, oh, sorry. My allergies. My nose is itchy. I'm trying to prevent not sneezing.
Aurora, where are you?
Well, she can't hear you.
She can't hear you. You have headphones on.
And don't get her started anyway. She's been relatively quiet this entire episode. No, I'm looking forward to where we're going now. So, and I agree, the Jeremy, Baz, and Paul Funko Pops, which need to happen. They need to exist.
All on a bar so that they're all together in one piece.
Well, you know what's funny too is like they do make Funko Pops that are kind of like that. They come in like pieces. They're individuals, but you put them together and they form a scene. I want to see Jeremy, Baz, and Paul with the bar and May.
Yes.
Behind the bar.
I have a Game of Thrones one that's huge, Funko Pop, and it's of Daenerys and Drogon. And it's big and it's awesome.
I have a setup. It's on a shelf in my living room. It's 6 pieces. So there was 6 individual Funko Pops that I had to buy. Mm-hmm. But when you put them together, it's the Avengers sitting at the table eating shawarma.
Love it.
From the end of the first Avengers movie.
But
it's
Chris
great.
Evans
I love
has to be like this, covering up his beard.
Oh, he is.
Right. He has to be covering up his beard.
But it's all of the Avengers sitting around the table eating shawarma. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite Funko Pops. And like I said, it was 6 different pieces that they kind of released individually, like over time. Like you had to buy one, then like a month or 2 later, they released the next one. So it was a time to finish it, but it's great now that it's done.
Yeah.
I want to see the same thing with Jeremy, Baz, Paul, and May.
Yes.
Funko, get on this.
Yes, please.
It would be great. Or even, you know what? Or even another one. Do like an AFC Richmond team photo scene with all the different players.
Masculine,
so when you put them all together, you saw the picture I sent you, right? Yeah. I turned it into an actual work of art.
Because it is. Masculine melancholy or McAdoo gives Sam a haircut.
That'd be another fun one too.
Yeah.
Because then you need like Jan Maas and Colin and everybody.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep going with the social media or do you want to play a voicemail?
We'll do Lindsay.
Okay.
Because then my part will be over.
Okay.
Okay. So this is from Lindsay Schlicht. Hate to see Rebecca backpedaling and getting all wrapped up in Rupert's crap again. It almost feels like season 1 Rebecca. Lindsay, it's like we're one mind sometimes. I can't remember how this goes, but I hope it ends soon. I hate seeing someone as amazing as Rebecca being mentally tortured by a twat like Rupert. It's okay to say that word talking about a British show. I see Nate's as wonderful as ever, ignoring greetings from people and telling that guy to get out of his office. Such a sad little snake. I wonder if they saw any irony in this little panic attack during the press meeting and what he did to Ted. Probably not. It's so hard for me to understand why spitting makes him feel powerful. It's so disturbing. I absolutely love that Ted's kind nature still won out in the end of this nasty situation. The way Jamie says "poope" has to be my most favorite phrase of any show ever. I've been waiting months for this scene. My friends and I say poupée all the time. I absolutely adore the weirdo accent Phil Dunster gave Jamie. And his hair is so bad.
You have never been a fan of Jamie's hair.
No, well, this one's real bad. I mean, it's parted down the middle and it's got brand new frosted highlights in it. I mean, he really leaned into it this year.
Well, it's also funny too, because we knew this, but Greg sent us the link to an article about how, like, with the poupée thing, a lot of this, not just on this episode, but constantly throughout the season, Phil Dunster's main objective was to try and get Brett Goldstein to break. So he would do a lot of these different things. Like he says originally in the script, it was just poo, but he changed it to poupée because he wanted to throw the accent on, and it was to try and get Brett Goldstein to break.
Right. That's what I would do.
There was a video that I posted on Instagram. I shared it was Brett Goldstein and Phil Dunster together reminiscing about how Phil would constantly try and make him break. And apparently there was a dance that Phil Dunster used to do, and it was just a head dance. Because he asks Jamie to do it at the end of the video, and the moment he starts doing it, Brett just loses it. And then Brett attempts to try it and fails miserably. Which makes Phil start laughing.
I love both of them so much. I can't wait till Amsterdam. Okay.
I know. But thank you, Lindsay, for that as well.
Thank you for always having my same opinion.
Nice for you to say that.
I love a really good echo chamber. It's like my
nice
favorite.
of you to say that right after we got the voicemail from Greg about the signal.
Yeah, Greg.
But
love you.
Speaking of Greg, we do have a voicemail from him for this episode.
So
and now he will be officially caught up.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, for this week. So he'll be caught up now at this point after this. So let's play it now.
Good morning. This is Greg, and I am trying to squeeze this in right before the deadline. Well, maybe an hour before the deadline. Anyway, Smells Like Mean Spirit. That is an appropriate title, specifically because of one of my points. All right, so I know you guys are going to cover a ton of awesome stuff, and I'm just going to talk about some of the things that I really enjoyed. This is where I got my discussion of rhyming salutations, where Rebecca asked no rhyming salutation. And then also kind of ties back into that, Henry, Amen, Big Ben, and Jamie, Bingo, El Ringo. I really enjoyed those. Specific to London, the couple of times I've been in London, I've gone on some pretty cool tours, including a London Bridge, like Jack the Ripper tour. And there is so much history in London and in the UK that some of those historical tours are just phenomenal. And they are all applicable, and they are, there's so much history there that it just makes for great storytelling and allegories to present day items. Scenarios. So speaking of present day scenarios, I noticed that in this episode, we were a little bit more blatant about the political leanings of the show. Henry refers to the political landscape. So from, I think, last episode when Keely told or said, "Fuck you, Piers Morgan." Today, this episode, she says, "Fuck you, Joe Rogan." It's another callback that I thought was cool. So this version of Rebecca is hard to watch a little bit until she softens towards the end and lets Ted be Ted. But she's like angry Rebecca now. So first Rebecca was hurt and depressed and just trying to screw everybody. Rebecca last season, she was pretty good. And then this season, or at least this version of her, is very angry. You guys mentioned it in No Weddings and a Funeral, I think. But the editing between the two confessions. So I don't remember what episode that was, but it was the confessions between Rebecca and Ted, flashing back and forth. And they did the same thing in the interview with Nate and down in the sewer with Ivor. I have a question. What the fuck are we doing here? That was really neat. Another 90s reference. What's the frequency? Roy Kentith. And then later on, I like Kenneth. He's really, plugged in. Thought that was cool. All right. Now Kate is calling for me, and so I'm going to cover my my callbacks. We talked about the fuck you, Joe Rogan. Beard preventing Ted from speaking to the players to let the other players do it. I think this is the second or third time it's happened. Doc Sharon said that when Ted was uncomfortable, he breaks out into like jokes or references specific to a 40-year-old middle America. And then here we got in his interview at the end, Field of Dreams, Twin Peaks, Dr. Phil. So it was I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And then the last one that I've got is that for Nate, Ted bought his suit, and then Rupert bought his car because he didn't have things appropriate to be able to do the job that he was there to do. And on one final note, as a father who literally put his son on a plane to go back to his home yesterday, I felt Ted in the opening of this scene. The breaking down of everything that you were able to spend time with them doing, it's hard, and you do start to analyze your life and what's going on and why things are the way they are. So, all right. Anyway, okay. Look forward to the coverage. Bye.
Hi, Kate.
That's a good call too on Ted buying the suit and Rupert buying the car.
I have that written down. I thought that was amazing. That shows how unprepared Nate is for everything.
For everything that he has done, he has never been ready.
He's not, because he hasn't earned it. He hasn't. You don't go from kit man to head coach in a year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big jump. We talked about that a lot when that happened. Mm-hmm. But this is just further proof of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's too much car for him. Like, remember when Sam told Colin that was too much car for Sam? Sam, he's like, I'm going to drive my Tesla. I like my Tesla. It's a smaller car, but this is the car that's the car for Sam, right? Yeah. Colin has no business being in the car that he's in. He's
driving a Ferrari.
But these are the people, but Colin and Nate are they're people that aren't maybe emotionally mature enough for the money that they've come into, for the privilege that they've come into, and getting that car, getting the suit was a much better step from Ted. That's, hey, you need a nice suit, man. It's time that you stop borrowing suits from your dad. You need your own suit.
Which as a male myself, every man should have at least, it doesn't have to be $1,000 suit, but every man should own a suit of some kind. Even if it's a $50 suit from Kohl's,
right.
Every man should own a suit.
Right. But
because you never know when you're going to need it. Rupert
gave him an really, really expensive car that he really has no business driving.
It is a beautiful Bentley.
Well, okay,
but yes. Well, and that's also the big difference between Nate and Colin too, is that Colin earned the Ferrari that's too much for him. Nate didn't even earn that Bentley. It was given to him.
It was given to him because Rupert couldn't stand to have Nate's car in his premier parking lot. Yeah. It wasn't because of Nate. It was just what the optics were.
Now, do you think Rupert knew that was Nate's car when he was getting ready to have it towed? Or do you think that was all?
No, he had no idea.
He just saw an eyesore and decided to get rid of it.
I mean, that if that's not Rupert in a nutshell, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, fair enough. So, but thank you, Greg.
Also, London, baby! London, baby!
We're going to get to that damn village at some point.
I can't.
In our lives. I think Greg even said in the chat, I think
he wants to come.
I think he said, can I tag along for that trip?
No. Yes.
The last piece of feedback we have comes from Alex. Hopefully Steve will return next week. He's been on an extended vacation. He went on a cruise around New Zealand, and I was like, I was so jealous of his trip because he got to meet Onwin too.
Well, and it's summer where he was.
Yeah. I saw pictures of like the food he was eating and I'm like, oh God. But Steve, we miss your feedback. So it's time to come back.
I miss my live Steving.
It's time to come home. But our final piece of feedback comes from Alex. So let's play that now.
Hey all, Alex Kruger here, leaving feedback for Ted Lasso Season 3 premiere Smells Like Mean Spirit. Much like Ted, almost all of my sports education came from playing their video games. I wasn't very athletic as a child, and really, I was apathetic to team sports. But in high school, I started playing football video games and learning the ins and outs, same with baseball and basketball. It might seem silly, but to those that didn't have a natural teacher or path to understanding the game, video game tutelage is a legitimate educational tool to those that want to know more. I really hated the friction Rebecca put between her and Ted this week. She even called him Coach Lasso at one point during her dressing down of him, and I wasn't a fan of her asking Ted to take the low road. But having said that, when she stated that Rupert was laughing at her, I felt that. I really did. And it let me feel okay that Rebecca was kind of just going through something. I remember on first watch being very unsure the direction season 3 was going to go after I watched this episode. Now, before we get into the evil empire, I just want to say, if Daryl Dixon thought Lori Grimes was olive oil, just wait till he sees Rupert's new assistant. There were many obvious examples of Nate being an absolutely insufferable jerk at West Ham. But one that might fly under the radar is Nate walks directly on the West Ham crest when entering the building. That's a huge no-no. It's a very old school sports superstition, but one that plenty of folks follow, like not touching a conference championship trophy before the championship matches.
Huh.
Speaking of Nate, nothing like a good Sith analogy to show us who the big bad is this season. Rupert is Palpatine, and Nate is so clearly Vader. Let's discuss old Darth Syphilis in his Death Star type office, or the fact that he is seemingly treating Nate the same way he does his partners, building them up, giving them expensive gifts and heaps of praise, but also making them feel small and not on his level. Like when he purposely has Nate's beater car towed while Nate is in his office, remarking it must belong to the cleaners. He knew it was Nate's car. He most likely had them wait to tow it until Nate was precisely in his office. He even wanted Nate to feed the hate as he entered his press conference and wanted to trash Richmond. On a lighter note, I loved how Jamie further cemented his status as a leader on the team by trying to keep everyone's spirits up. When you think back to the old one kit, one team, and giving Danny the final kick of last season, he really is stepping into a role he will undoubtedly fill excellently. And I like that it's not like he's trying to be the captain, he's just trying to lead the men around him. It's what makes the arrival of, nope, you know what? I'm going to save that for next week. And lastly, as a divorced parent, there's nothing scarier than facing the fact that your child has a new parental figure in their life. Will this person have the same values? Will they push ideals and agendas that are contrary to your own on the kids? Will they be abusive in any way, physically, mentally, or worse? Even before Ted knows just who this new beau is, the fact that he's an ocean away has to be terrifying. I'm glad he still has his sessions with Dr. Sharon, because going through this part of a divorce absolutely sucks. Well, that's it for me this week. Looking forward to next week. Keep up the great work. And as always, we're the good guys, Michael.
I didn't know that about walking across the crest.
I didn't either, but it makes sense.
It does, and it makes total sense that Nate is the one to do it without any disregard to doing it. I love the mention of olive oil when it comes to Rupert's assistant and making the comparison. And I'm really disappointed because they're remaking Popeye in a live action, and I don't think it needs to be done.
Who's going to play Popeye?
They don't know yet.
Probably Chris Pratt. They choose him for everything these days.
I don't know, but Robin Williams played Popeye perfectly. We don't need another Popeye.
Hey, I'm with you, homie.
Yeah, we don't need another Popeye.
We don't need a Harry Potter TV series, but whatever. What do I know?
There's a lot of stuff we don't need. But I do need more Ghostbusters, which I'm excited I'm actually going to see today.
I need Dune to be on streaming. Dune 2.
You're gonna be waiting a little while.
I want to watch them both back to back, and I know the theaters aren't going to do it.
there's too many other movies coming out for that.
Well, that's
for them to...
stupid. They should have done it at the beginning of the year, like Grown-Ups.
Like Grown-Ups. Okay.
Very upset.
I do want to say, though, that Alex is actually going to be joining us next week.
Yay! I'm very excited.
So no feedback from Alex next week because he's going to be a guest on the episode.
But we're going to get Steve back, right?
I hope so. So, Steve, if you're listening, we need you to fill the void. We need your feedback back. Watch, he probably won't even be caught up with the podcast by the time he gets to this. He'll hear it like after we've already recorded it. But I also do want to say too, for those of you listening, as soon as this episode releases and for people that leave feedback, the deadline for feedback is going to be shorter next week because next week is Easter Sunday. So whereas Kristin and I usually record on Sundays, we're not recording on Easter Sunday. We're recording a couple days. Yeah, we're recording on Friday before. So usually we accept feedback up until Sunday morning, right before we record. This week it's going to be before Friday. So Friday morning is going to be the deadline for feedback. And I'll post on social media a couple days earlier than I usually do, too, to give people that extra time. But as always, if you do want to leave feedback, easiest ways to do that, just go to the website, revisitedpod.com. There you'll find links on where to subscribe, listen, all that fun stuff. Or you could just email us directly, feedback@revisitedpod.com. And recommendations for the week. Anything you want to throw out there?
No.
No?
Yeah, I don't have time for anything right now. Bad Batch. I mean, Bad Batch is still great.
Yeah, I agree. It's so good.
It's so good, and I'm
so disappointed it's ending.
Me too. Yeah. There's a lot I want to say about it, but I'm not going to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm very interested. There's a new series that just dropped on Netflix called 3 Body Problem.
Nope. No thanks. It's a Benioff and Weiss show.
I know.
I'm not fucking touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, because of Game of Thrones. All right.
Fuck you guys. Sorry.
Fair.
Excuse my language. Absolutely not. 110%.
Fair enough. The other thing I'll say that I haven't watched yet, but I'm really interested, the Roadhouse remake with Jake Gyllenhaal.
That looks good.
I think it looks pretty good. And from what I hear, it's actually a lot better than people expected it to be.
You know, people don't give Jake Gyllenhaal enough credit.
Well, people went into it with low expectations because it is a remake of a beloved 80s movie.
Yeah.
And I'm with a lot of people that a lot of remakes are unneeded. But I saw the trailer for this one and I was like, you know what? I think it actually looks I think it looks like it has potential. And there are a number of people that are saying
ripped.
He got jacked for this movie.
Yeah, he did. He needs to go do a superhero movie right now while he's still in this condition.
Well, it would have to be DC because he's already done Marvel.
Yeah, stupid. And he's stupid in Marvel. He's just stupid.
I liked him as Electro.
Shut up. No, he was Mysterio.
Or Mysterio, yeah. I liked him as Mysterio.
Ugh, I
thought that was a really clever take on that character. As a comic book fan and who knows the legitimacy of Mysterio, I thought that was a great take on the character.
I didn't like it.
Fair enough. Any final notes before we wrap?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
I am as well. So then, in that case, with that being said, thank you as always for being a part of this community, for listening, subscribing, all that you guys do. Next week's episode, Ted Lasso, Season 3, Episode 2, I Don't Want to Go to Chelsea, with I Don't Want to Go to, in parentheses. We get a break from Nate next episode.
And I think it's needed.
Well, because we also get some new blood to Richmond.
Oof.
And we're going to need the time.
Yeah. We can't have both of them at the same time.
We're going to need the time for the new blood to Richmond.
Yep.
But yeah, so we get a break from Nate. We get some new blood to AFC Richmond. And we get the return of Trent Crimm.
Woohoo!
Which we're so excited for. But that about does it. Until next time, we'll see you guys back out on the pitch. Take care.
Namaste, baby.